Let's look at this volley. The most important thing is just how he gets the racket face behind the ball, which is very efficient. And we want to focus in on this area here. So you see how the elbow really doesn't move? So he's able to get the racket face square and waiting on the ball without really moving this elbow. So how is that possible? It's all really laying this wrist back. This is really the move. It's a slight turn sideways. So you see how his shoulders are now starting to turn. But the racket changes 90 degrees from here, from the ready position, to laid back behind the ball. And really, nothing happened except for just a slight turn of the shoulder, and then laying this wrist back. And that is the most efficient way to receive the volley. Very simple. So as soon as you see that it's a forehand volley, it's a slight turn and lay that wrist back, and you've got the strings facing the back of the ball. Now let's take a look at what you're doing, which is, look how much elbow movement is here. And look how little shoulder turn is happening. So the shoulder's turning a little bit. And focus on the wrist. So the wrist, right now you already know it's a forehand volley. The ball's off his strings. You've already started to turn. You've already pushed your elbow out. But your wrist position is not laying back. It's still very, very neutral. So as you're going out to contact, still pretty neutral. I think you should be laying back here. Elbow should still be closer to the body. And I think, you're getting out of the way here because your arm is so far extended. The problem with this is you want to extend that elbow a little bit into contact. If it's already extended, then you have to do some crazy stuff at the end. So I would suggest keeping that elbow tucked. Start laying the wrist back right here. See, the strings aren't facing the ball. They should very well be facing the ball at this point. Still not facing the ball. Still not facing the ball. Now they're laid back. Now it's laid back too much. So what you want to do out of this position, slight shoulder turn, keep that elbow tucked, lay the wrist back. The string should be facing the ball. Elbow should still be tucked. Move your feet, get in position, and then about right here, that elbow should be extending outwards to make contact. So let's take a look at this one. See that elbow extension? Right there. He's already got the racket set. Now from here, it's elbow extension. It's really not elbow extension. He's really driving more from the shoulder because he's not extending. But what I'm saying is the elbow is moving, right? So he's driving that arm forward with the shoulder while that racket face is very steady, not changing a lot. So elbows tucked, and then it pushes forward. Elbows tucked, pushes forward. See that first move? Elbows getting out way too far, reaching. You really don't need to do this. Be a little bit more efficient with the feet. It's a tough ball here. Wrist is too neutral, too neutral. Strings should be facing the ball at this point. And then what happens is this is another very significant thing. So because you don't lay the wrist back early, what happens is when you do extend out to contact, then it lays back. So if you lay it back early and then you go out to contact, you won't get that extension. So just making it a lot more complicated than it needs to be. Let's look at a couple more. Same thing, first move is elbow going out. So in this one, I think you're just, the contact point's a little too far up. You ran out of runway here. Should be extending that wrist, keeping that elbow tucked. And yeah, your footwork's off here too. So I talked about this. This must be that same volley I talked about in the other video. You left your anchor point too early. You should still be on that left foot right now. And you should be driving forward and landing right. I'm sorry. You should have been on your right foot. Should be on your right foot, right foot, right foot, right foot. And now you should land left. So the main thing is smooth is just lay the wrist back. We don't need to get the elbow far away from the body. Just get into position, and then you want to extend that arm into contact. All right, let's get out there and work on it.